convince your parents to do acting?
I did, yeah. It was actually quite similar. So obviously, I went to them and told them I wanted to be an actor, and I think where I do get bored of things quite easily, they thought it would just be a passing phase. But then, obviously, I joined these theatre companies and I did shows. It took several years, actually. I think it was 2 or 3 years of me doing shows, applying for different things, going away and doing courses. And then eventually they said, actually, you've stuck with this and you've proven to us that it is something that you're passionate about. Obviously they'd been to see my shows, were like, you're not absolutely terrible. So with work you could you know, actually make a career out of it. I think again my parents were a bit concerned about financial aspects. Yeah. But I think just for them, yeah, it took me several years of applying for things, doing shows to prove to them that I was passionate about it and that I would stick with it. Yeah. And yeah, I think if you're passionate about something,
because it's not instant.
Somebody box and one person becomes champion, so it could be one of that could be you. You know, that you could be the one who's showing the others to follow.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting you talk about the youth. I mean, I grew up in Hamlets, and I've seen kids, you know, getting into trouble and stuff like that. So I really hope that, you know, I'm demonstrating and hopefully showcasing, you know, when we release the web series, that, you know, you can get out there, be active in filmmaking or whatever it is that they're interested in, and really make, you know, a career out of it if they can, you know. And there is always an alternative, you know. There's always a door there, you know, and hopefully Izzy and myself, you know, hopefully can inspire, you know, young kids, you know, to sort of get out there and you know, pursue something in filmmaking or, you know, something else in another industry.
Okay, so if, say, they're not convinced, you want to make a movie, they're not convinced. They're convinced with you now, they'll say, no, not this one, make something else or that one. How would you convince them? You're a director, listen, you're an actor. You know, how would you convince them? Would you be emotional? How would you convince them?
Me personally, the way I would convince people is I would sort of showcase inspirational films or TV shows or comics or whatever I'm interested in. I'll showcase that a material that I'm drawing inspiration from. I'll say, this is sort of what I'm looking at. And then I'll try and sort of speak in a very passionate way.
You would convince me for a role. Yeah. If you're that, how would you convince me?
Pretty much by, you know, giving a passionate statement. You know, I'll try and convince you why you should be part of the project. Firstly, by explaining the story. What is the project that I'm trying to sort of get you involved in?
We've got another caller.
Another caller? Yeah.
You know what? They're very sensitive. When it comes to parents, they're sensitive. They don't want to see people taking mickey or saying something bad or rude. So they want to be, they're very protective.
Yeah.
So you could see the side of it. How would you convince them?
How would I convince it? The parents?
Yeah, go. See, try.
It's interesting. I'd probably explain to them that, you know, firstly, my intentions are correct. I want to do things in a halal way, alhamdulillah, and that I do want to make a career out of it and have a financial stable career out of it too, and that there are benefits to it. You know, I think that there's a lot of writing involved, so that's something that I'm sure they'll look at and they'll say my son can improve upon his English. At the same time, you'll work with a lot of public figures, you'll be connected within the industry, and it will open doors for the youth, you know, within our own community. I think it's all about engagement. And I'll try and say to them that, you know, have faith and confidence in me, and that inshallah, in the long run, they'll see the fruits of, you know, of all the hard work that, you know, I'm trying to put into it, you know. And I think it takes patience, and I would ask for their patience. And slowly, like today, for instance, I'm on your show, you know, they'll see, wow, you know, my son is on this show, and, you know, there is sort of a credibility to what he's doing, you know. And inshallah, you won't see an instant success. I think sometimes parents are quite apprehensive, you know, because initially they are going to be quite pessimistic and fearful because they want the best for their son and daughter, like any parents, which is understandable. I think it's perseverance, you know, and you just got to have that little bit of faith. And that goes a long way, you know. And then hopefully, you know, they'll see that, you know, there is success to it, you know, once they see their children putting hard work into it. And I think parents should be supportive if they're doing something positive, you know, rather than something negative. So what Izzy and me, what we're doing is positive, you know, it's productive. And you know, and that's something that parents should be supportive of.
Fantastic. You know, we're going to go for a break in a minute. So I'm really convinced, you know, like you guys convince your parents. I mean, that's the very positive way to do it as well. You're showing the action, and they're seeing the success, and they're happy with that, you know.